When we experience a quantum shift in vibration, our whole entire reality changes. However, the signs to it may be very different than what you would think would bring you a quantum shift in vibration. However, in this video, I'm going to share with you those 3 signs. Anytime I've gone through these, I've had a quantum shift in my energy, and these are the ways you can know that the same is happening to you. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I am going to be speaking about how you can know you are about to go through a quantum shift in vibration, understanding that your vibration is what is dictating the kind of reality that you experience. You always experience a reality that is equal to your vibration. When you change your vibration, you change your life. And there's many different things that go into when we're talking about vibration and energy. Now, I'm actually right now in Tucson, Arizona. I'm here for a rock, I say rock show on Instagram. People think I mean like rock band show. It's like crystals and amethyst and geodes and all these really cool stuff. So I'm getting stuff from my house right now. What I'll do in this video is I'll put the B-roll to that, me walking around there later today, so you can see kind of what that's like. It's a huge show, one of the biggest shows in the world for what it is. But what I thought I would do is talk about shift in vibration, because many times crystals are associated, at least metaphorically as well, with vibration and amplifying vibration. So when I look into my own life, and I look right now, for example, as well, the first sign that you can know you're about to go through a quantum shift in vibration is different than you think. It has to do with things are breaking down. Now, you may assume that if things are breaking down, then it's actually going in the complete opposite route of that of having a quantum shift in vibration. However, when I look to my own life right now, like for example, I feel like a little bit of a stagnation in my life. Like things that used to work for me to get ahead to where I wanted to be aren't working as powerfully as they used to. And that many times is the way our soul, our spirit communicates to us and says, okay, this area of your life isn't working the way you've been doing it. It is time to change it up. And if every time you were doing it, or just, whatever that area of your life is, everything were going perfect, guess what? There would be no reason to change. So right now, for example, even with just making daily videos, I'm finding it a little bit more resistant than it used to be for me to continue to make daily videos on YouTube. And I feel more of a calling to go and do the live events that I've been talking about for a while now. And the thing is that's a different energy, that's a different reality. And I feel like in some ways there's signs I'm getting in reality that show you, Aaron, or showing me, not showing you, Aaron, me, Aaron, go in this direction. Let go. The things that used to work aren't working as powerfully as they used to. And even though my ego might resist that and want to change it, I'm realizing that the key to this is actually realizing that the breaking down is a gift. And right now, if things are breaking down in your life, guess what? What happens is it's tearing apart the old belief system. It's tearing apart the old habits. And then you can actually catapult yourself to the next level. Many of you know my buddy Victor. He was recently going through something like this as well, where him and I were talking, and what we realized is that there's these like 4 seasons of manifestation of our vibration as well. Think of it like this, just a little short synopsis of it. You have that of spring, summer, fall, winter, just like the seasons we have. Spring is all about new ideas. Summer is about figuring out what works. It's kind of like putting in the action, putting in the work. Fall is when things are working and you're starting to reap the rewards of it. And then winter is when things are kind of breaking down and you're redefining yourself so that then you can go through spring again. Just like we don't freak out if there was some type of tree that then loses all of its leaves and it's just winter. We know that in spring, the tree knows that in spring, those leaves will come back. It will revitalize itself. So in the same way, if you find that right now, things in your life are breaking down, they're not as easy flowing as they used to, rejoice. Be excited. Because that means that the winter is going to turn into that of spring. It is causing you to go within to see, what are some new ideas I have? How can I more creatively go through this? What I explained to my buddy Victor is he was getting hard on himself because he was in the winter of his business. And then what I did is I showed him, he's also comparing his winter of his business to someone else's business that was in like the summer of their business, or the fall, they were reaping all the benefits. Then it's easy not to compare ourselves as much. So realize that this is part of the process. And that if you're going through things breaking down, if you're going through a time of feeling resistance, guess what? That's when there's transformation that's happened. That's when you experience a quantum leap. That's what's getting me, for example, to a place to where I just want to jump forward and jump into the new. Because what's working, it's now time to change that up. And when you change that up, that's when things really begin to change. So if you find that you're at a job you don't like and you want to start going for a different job, you start to get kind of fed up with it. If you find that certain relationships might be kind of breaking down, if you find that belief systems are breaking down, guess what? That's when the quantum shift comes. It's right after that. I looked at any point in my life when I experienced some type of quantum shift, and it's come from me redefining myself and understanding that there's no clarity right now. This is scary. But then after that came the realization. And that realization leads you somewhere. Now the second sign that you are about to create and experience a quantum shift in vibration is that people may not understand you. And what I mean by this is you might be changing and people might be looking at you like, what are you doing? What are you going through this spiritual awakening stuff that you're talking about? And you even questioned it sometimes. When I went through my spiritual awakening, there were times I questioned it because here I am going through a change in my vibration. I used to literally, I would drink and smoke, and then I learned meditation, and that changed a lot about me. And when that happened, I was then going around to like friends and family and telling them about meditation and about spiritual awakening and who we really are as spiritual beings. And they were looking at me like, Aaron, what are you talking about? And then I would question myself, like, is this right? I'm like the only one. What if I'm just delusional? What if there's something, what if something happened? I don't know. Am I crazy? It's a very common stage of spiritual awakening. And I had that thought. And I remember back in the day, that was something I was like, I had dreams about it. I had a dream one time back in the day that I was like waking up at an insane asylum and my dad was there, and it was like, my dad thought I was crazy when I was going through my spiritual awakening, so I kind of see where the subconscious was there. But there was a knowing within me that this is the path for me. Yes, it's not popular, especially back in the day, let me tell you. Spiritual awakening, even now, it's becoming more and more well-known at least, or more accepted. But back in the day, spiritual awakening, when I was going through it especially, and it was only back in 2011, 12, but I was looked at like a really weird person. And I just knew though, I knew there was something right about it. I knew that it resonated, and even though people didn't really understand it, I knew that it was true for me. And recently I was coaching someone in my Shift Academy, which is like my monthly coaching thing. And he was telling me, he's like, well, I'm trying to like tell and explain all of this to my new friends and family. And they don't want to listen to it. Like they don't want me to be this way. They want me to be the old me. And I related so much with him because like I've been there before. I remember my dad one time, he was like, where'd my son go? It was actually a very sad moment when he said that. I laugh because it loosens it up a little bit. But I remember I was talking to the guy I was coaching in the Shift Academy. I told him, I said, bro, just go and be exactly how everyone wants you to be. Just be exactly how everyone wants you to be, act the way they want you to act, and pretend to be the way that they expect you to be. And I said that completely sarcastic because think about how ridiculous that sounds. So once we realized that the alternative isn't, he goes, no. I was playing devil's advocate because I knew that then he'd defend it, and it's like, well, you see, there really is no other option. You can't pretend to be someone you're not to make them happy. So in the same way, you may have a knowing that this is the path for you, that things in your life are changing. And understand, you are the 5 people you're around the most. And if you're trying to conform to their vision of you, guess what? You're constantly trying to be something you're not. And because of that, it keeps you in that reality. If you feel this resistance and you feel like people aren't getting you, that's a sign that you're about to experience this quantum shift in vibration. They're trying to hold on to you because of their vision, their image of you, and how comfortable that makes them. But guess what? You didn't come here just to make people comfortable. You going through a spiritual awakening will challenge your friends. They will challenge your family. Your family and friends may look at you and say, what the heck happened? But understand this. You are going to be causing more of a spiritual awakening in them just by you being yourself than anything else, and you'll feel more free doing it. It won't always be the most pleasant thing. We want approval from people, but I'll tell you what, the more unapologetically I've been in just being who I'm meant to be, not needing them to like me or to understand this whole spiritual awakening stuff, the more that I did that, the more they ended up coming around anyways. Because I wasn't trying to change them. I wasn't trying to get them to see anything particularly. So for you, maybe that's the same thing. It's let go and realize that if they're trying to hold on to their image of you, but let go and know that you got to be bold. And that there's a quantum shift in vibration about to happen within you once you can start to feel that you just know you can't continue to be the old way. People are judging you a little bit more and you find that you're doubting yourself. That's a great thing. It means that you're creating space within you. And all these things I'm sharing with you, by the way, I've been through them all. So I'm not saying like that theoretically going through a spiritual awakening is this way. No. This is what it's all about. So the third sign that you're about to go through a massive shift in awakening is understanding synchronicity, both positive and negative. So lately for me, I know I'm about to go through a quantum shift in vibration. I can feel it. My life has changed so much. So I've gone through numerous ones of these, but there's just always new levels. And you may see some type of synchronicity. Now understand the synchronicities are what it means to us. What it means to us. Maybe you see 333 and it means something to you, and someone else sees 666 and you think that's a bad thing, but to them it's a good thing. You see? So be aware that when we see number synchronicities, sometimes, do you ever have it to where you're talking about something, you stop, you go somewhere else, and then someone else is talking about the same thing you were just talking about? Or you keep getting some type of synchronicity of something that you're thinking about that maybe you're self-conscious of, and you keep like almost hearing conversations away, or other people mention things to you that kind of always brings your mind back to that. Well, that's making you aware. And one of the necessary components of a massive shift in vibration is understanding these awareness with patterns, both positive and negative. As time goes on with the planet, because the energy is continuing to rise, or to raise, what's going to happen is the lapse of what we think to what we experience is going to be quicker and quicker. And if you're experiencing increased synchronicity, negative or positive, it's a sign that you're about to have that quantum shift in vibration, because you are in alignment. And alignment is where you're in the highest vibrational track, you could say. Think of it like different timelines. And if you're experiencing a lack of synchronicity, then it means that you're not paying as much attention, you're not as aware. But if you're seeing some type of positive synchronicity, number synchronicities, synchronicities with what you're talking about, what you're thinking about, different, whatever it is, different topics, that is a sure sign that you are about to create a quantum shift in your life. It's not, you don't even have to create it, it's going to happen through you. But I promise you this, when you go through that quantum shift in vibration, it will be worth it. Understand that when you plant the seeds, it's not the same day you eat the fruit. However, time is speeding up, the appearance or what we perceive of time. And there may be some days that you do plant the seeds and eat the fruit. And with this quantum shift in vibration, it is absolutely possible. And if you haven't seen, I do have a meditation that will help you create that quantum shift in vibration for this year, 2020 and beyond. It's a meditation that went live on January 1st, and we had people live doing it. It added so much energy to it. And even you doing it now, even though it's not January 1st, you will pick up on that energy stream and create that quantum shift in vibration. Listen to this meditation for 21 days. Watch what happens. Read the comments. also, because you'll see what's possible and it'll increase your belief as well, I'll go ahead and link it right here. Watch this video right now. Listen to it for 21 days. You'll see how powerfully it changes your vibration, how it changes everything about you. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed this video. Peace, much love, and namaste.